It is us. We are here to talk about our wellness, and hopefully, you will be willing to talk about your wellness as well. Or maybe I don't know. This is just something that, um, kind of as a explanation, something a bunch of us kind of used to do together a couple years ago on Wednesdays for about an hour, and I was the one who messed it up. So I figured this would be a good way for me to have some accountability because I care about my friends and I feel beholden to the wonderful people who will tune in to watch. So yeah, we're gonna talk about how we're doing. So how's everybody doing? I mean, you can share as much as or as little as you like. And yes, I put a thank you, Shannon, for helping with the content warning.
Happy to assist.
Yours was way better than mine.
No.
Yeah, it was.
I work in a DEI space. Like it's what I do for a living in my day job. So I'm used to crafting things on the fly. So
The polish was real.
thank you.
That's what we're gonna say. So who wants to who would like, I mean, if no one will, I will. I got
Yeah, how are you doing, man?
Yeah, kick it off.
Okay. How are things going? I got back on my calorie bullshit last week. I'm on week 2, and I gave myself a cheat day yesterday because Lord knows I needed it. Plus, we were eating really late, so I kind of was like, I don't care about this today. It's going well. I think the highest before cheat day was 1,800 calories.
Okay.
Which is pretty good. I don't know. I mean, I think I've lost like 4 pounds, which is good. I mean, it's the thing. I can take it off. Can I keep it off? Will be the real goal. Other than that, sorta down. Just kind of feeling bullshit right now. I feel the bullshit. I don't know why. I mean, but I am. I don't think I'm having like a depressive episode as much as just I'm unhappy currently, which will happen. As I will often say, I take after my father. I am someone who's capable of great mirth and terrible melancholy, which is a Robert E. Howard thing about Conan. I always felt that fit really well for my dad, and as I got older, my mom was like, "You do realize you're talking about yourself, right?" But yeah, I guess other than that, I had a real bad night the other night where I couldn't sleep. I had racing thoughts, like really bad. Felt like I was jogging down a hallway where it was just a hallway made of televisions and everything was on a different channel. I think I slept that night about a solid 45 minutes at a time, if at all.
Yeah.
I'm kind of back to feeling reasonable, but I'm also just kind of, I don't know. That's where I'm at. I mean, I like your background, Draz. I'm going to tell you.
It's a robot. It just wants to give a hug.
Give robot a hug. So that's where I'm at. No, I mean, I'm doing okay, getting good grades. Future's so bright. I should probably wear some sunglasses so I don't irreparably hurt my eyes.
Yeah, I think they made a song like that. I'm pretty sure, man.
I don't know. I don't listen to the kids' music.
Wasn't it "Flock of Seagulls I Ran"?
Oh God! You know what? I love that song. I legitimately love that song.
It's good. Flock of Seagulls have some good stuff.
All right, I'm getting off track. I'm real bad at this. So who wants to go next? Tell me the tale of your people.
I'll jump in there. I'm pretty down in the dumps myself, man. I think it's probably a good mix of just kind of my natural tendency towards depression at times, and just a lot of kind of junky stuff going on, like family wise and stuff like that. Like but you know a little bit of it. Then yeah, but just crazy ups and downs. Whoa, no, not my camera.
It's just a this,
All
this
right,
is now
yeah,
a
no, we can add this to the list.
representation.
But yeah, but yeah, no, I've been feeling pretty off. The crazy weather's not helping, I don't think at all. Like there's something really bothering me about the lack of snow. I don't know why I'm fixating on that, but that is something I seem to be like, what's up with this snow? And or lack thereof. And yeah, just I don't know, been having a lot of trouble sleeping lately to myself, waking up hours earlier than I usually do, and I really don't sleep that much as it is. So I'm like,
Yeah, that's real.
yeah,
painful.
yeah, and as a result, I'm having really fun mood swings with my family, where I'm like, oh, great, I'm freaking out over these Cheerios that got spilled on the floor, and I am totally aware of that I'm freaking out while I'm freaking out, and it's like I got to rein this in, or else I'm just going to be spreading this out. So yeah, so luckily tomorrow I have therapy. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm very much happy about that. And yeah, until then, just trying to stay really positive. Was looking forward to this. This is really cool. It's nice to kind of get some of that out. And actually, this will be probably a little helpful for me for therapy, because sometimes I don't know if anyone has this issue with therapy. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to get going. Even with my person, I've been with her for a good 2 years now, but sometimes I find myself even then withholding a little bit, where I have to kind of find my footing and kind of get myself up there. So I think kind of running over these issues ahead of time and stuff, even though we're just keeping it very surface level and kind of chill, I think that'll help. Yeah. So yeah.
I'm bad at therapy, so kudos to you, because I'm bad at it. Like you were talking about being like, sometimes it's, you have to rev up for it.
Mhm.
I can feel like I never hit the mark. I never get
Yeah.
the correct level of like, okay, I'm willing to disclose anything at this point. So I'm always happy when people are like, yeah, this is actually helping me.
I'll say it's taken me like I've been in therapy on and off since probably about 14. Actually, no, let me reverse that, 12, if I'll be honest about it. And it's only probably within these last like 5 years that I've really started realizing how to use therapy for me, instead of kind of dealing with an expectation of what it needs to be, or having that. So for a long time, I would not go deep into things. Things were always, oh yeah, I'm good, I'm just kind of struggling with this and that. And it took me a long time to let that defense down. But once that kind of got down, it's really been working wonders for me, I feel like. I don't
It's
know.
fantastic, man.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
Right.
But yeah.
Who would like to go next? I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, you're great.
Now I guess I can go. So this time of year for me every year is really rough. February is a terrible month for me. It's gotten worse over the last 5 to 7 years, because okay, so my mother's birthday would have been January 13th. My father's birthday would have been January 22nd. So I get the reminders of both my parents no longer being with me. And then I also I am very susceptible to the seasonal mood disorder. And February is just, it's like, that's the hammer. I go strong into January. I'm like, get 2/3 of the way through January, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be okay this year, and then it just starts to step down, and then like February 1st, February 2nd, the hammer just drops on me.
Yeah.
So I'm preparing myself for that. And
I'm getting ready for inevitable horribleness. Thank you.
I'm trying to remain optimistic, but
Yeah.
I hear you. It's always cool though when you're like, I know this is going to be hard
Yeah.
for me, and I can start it mentally to that
Like-
difficulty. It sucks, man. It's real
I
hard.
mean, I didn't really come to grips with that I had it until I actually was in therapy. And then I started to come to grips with a lot of my own issues.
Mhm.
The best way to put it, I mean, with my challenges, I suppose that's a better way of putting it, is it's a challenge for me. But
I always think of it as like, call it what makes the most sense to you, because sometimes I find when we can name something, for me, if I can name something, it doesn't end up being where it becomes such a mystery that makes it difficult.
mhm.
Instead, it's like, okay, well, I know what this is, because this is like it's hard for me to explain. I think I'm doing a piss poor job explaining it. So
But I also, though, I mean, I'm trying to use more positive verbiage because I am
Yeah.
very bad at self-depreciation. So instead of calling it an issue, which has a negative term for me, a challenge, which
There's
is
like-
more
yeah.
of a positive. It's it's fighter. It's a fight instinct versus a flight.
yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
That's great.
So
You gotta do what's best for you, man.
so that's what I got coming for me.
Well, it's wonderful that like you have this awareness of it, but also that you're being so proactive about it in like a really healthy way where you're loading all this positivity up front around it. I think that's really great. That's so smart.
Oh yeah.
And that's something that I just started, learning to do in the last few years.
Heck yeah.
Instead of drowning and wallowing in it.
And that's really easy to do. That's really easy to do. So like
Hell yeah.
you're kicking ass, man.
You are
Really.
very much so. Like, I'm super good at wallowing. Like, I'm like a wallowing world champ. So don't feel bad at all. You're doing an awesome job.
We could do
Oh,
a
yeah.
tag team on that.
Oh no, I think we might have to do trios because like no lie, I was super down in the dumps today. I had a few cry sessions for reals, got the snotty nose going and everything. Yeah, but you get those moments where it's like, okay, here's something positive I can hold on to, and you can get yourself out of it if you're lucky enough. And yeah, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're doing great, I think. I mean, like putting so much positivity out there with, what is probably coming around the bend. So I think that's great. That's great.
Awesome. Oh yeah. And we got your back.
As I
Yeah.
Got your back. That leaves one.
And then there was one.
And then there was one. This particular year, I'm a big, I know it's like going into February, but I don't do resolutions. I feel like they're just kind of a constant setup for, I don't want to say failure, but kind of a constant setup for failure for me. I've learned if I don't make something habitual and something where I can reflect on it on the regular, it's not going to stick.
Mhm.
Oh, hello. Yay. Thank you so much for the kind chat. Y'all are like bringing the positivity tonight.
I'm doing a
this.
poor job with chat tonight.
No,
Oh,
you're
I haven't
fine.
Sorry,
I can't help
guys.
it. I'm in like diehard streamer mode right now because I'm like, I literally just got my Streamlabs and stuff set up for my next
nice.
project. So I'm good to go.
I just got done grilling, so my brain is just like
You're
I'm
on
gonna
grill
just
mode.
I'm gonna pull up one day when you're grilling and give you no warning, and I'm just gonna like stomp up and glare at you and like steal something and run.
If you bring, I've done this many
I'll bring
times.
stuff.
Yeah, you bring food. You bring food. We'll grill.
You live close enough.
I know.
I
tell
know.
people
You
all
guys
the
are
time.
so close.
Tell people all the
So
time. You show up with food, I will cook it for you.
so my year and the theme that I'm trying to plan around is, as my therapist, who is wonderful. Shout out to Mackenzie. She's that girl has been a game changer for me, honestly. She's the first therapist in my entire life that has been. Yeah, she's marvelous. It's sad that it took me that long to find a good therapist, but I found one. Her theme for me for this year that we were having a discussion about was figuring it out. And I get really frustrated because without like going into too much detail and like taking over, I have a multitude of things that I'm trying to work through, just like everybody else. But in the last 2 years, I was officially diagnosed with complex PTSD. I've been diagnosed with anxiety disorder. I've been diagnosed with gender dysphoria, being non-binary, to the point where it actually, my therapist has fully diagnosed me with it, and it causes me extraordinary bouts of mental distress and emotional distress, which I've been dealing with most of my life. It's just we never knew because, like, in the 90s, there wasn't even like a concept for that when I was a teenager. So I'm in this constant thread of like figuring ish out, and I'm frustrated because I want things to go faster. I want to be able to have my gender affirming top surgery as quickly as possible, but there are health reasons that I have to go slowly. I want to be able to work out like a normal human being, and I can't because I have not one but 2 disabilities that even just going walking is not recommended for me. Like, I have been told I cannot go for walks. I have what's called lumbar spinal stenosis. So it's the for those of you unaware, the spinal column itself tapers and narrows, and this is a congenital issue. So it tapers and narrows, and it constricts and squeezes the bottom of my spinal column. So all of those nerves go throughout my entire low back. Richard actually has it, but he has it up here. Yeah, we're a real fun combo.
Yeah, I have cervical stenosis, so mine's in my neck, which causes me shoulder issues.
Our days of Millennium Force roller coaster riding are over, sadly, which kind of breaks my heart. But that's the other piece is like, there's all these things I want to do. So like, I can't even like go to the gym and work out normally. And I can't, people are always like, oh, go do yoga. Okay. I taught dance for 18 and a half years. I went to like 4-day certification workshops about understanding myofascial release. I've literally been through the same training as a massage therapist without getting certified as a massage therapist. Richard can vouch for this. I know more than the average bear when it comes to this stuff. Like, I could literally do a bunch of stuff at home, but people are like, do yoga. I am incredibly well versed in 4 different styles of yoga. I can't do extension stretches because they're bad for the stenosis. Now add fibromyalgia on top of that. I am always at a baseline of pain. If I don't talk about pain, you just assume I'm in pain. If I do talk about the pain, it's bad. that's the moniker. So like, I'm in this constant like frustration where it's like, I see my goals, I see where I want to get, and I can't get there in any facet of speed, even though I do the right things. And it's like I've hit barrier after barrier after barrier this year. Even like little things like body modification. Like, I've been working on stretching my earlobes for a while. And even my piercer is like, you don't have a lot of elasticity left, so we're gonna have to go hella slow. I'm like, God damn it. I'm just trying to have some form of control over my body because I have none. And like, everything is a barrier. So I'm trying to remind myself this year that I'm figuring it out. So just like the piercing, the stretching with gauges is a curation. That's why I go to a professional and I have it as a curated thing. I'm treating my wellness like a curation this year. So
That's awesome. That's a really cool idea.
it's hard. It's not, and honestly, Richard's address is like the reason I kind of thought about that between him and my therapist, because it is very easy especially this time of year with like seasonal depression, seasonal depressive disorder. We don't have a lot of vitamin D. I have a natural vitamin D deficiency, so I have to like amp my vitamin D consistently. I have to go get blood work. Ben knows every time I'm at the doctor, I'm like, hey, look, world tour continues. It's like a running joke. Yeah, I know, you know, but it's, so when you have like chronic disorders and disabilities and chronic diseases and a touch of the tism, you roll with it, and you have to try and be patient. And like what I do is when I have my days, I allow myself to have my days. It's okay to have my days.
That's you should.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also really, really like broccoli infused things. That's helped a lot. Yeah. Broccoli infusion has solved so many of my problems.
Chopping broccoli has an entirely new.
I really like broccoli flavored gummies. Broccoli infused gummies. Honestly, I can totally say this because I have a medical card. So it's not like, and it's also legal here. So whatever, but so that honestly truly does help quite a bit. Especially since a lot of my issues are neuropathy related. And it does help with that. I am curious about trying some other things to assist with that, but it's a slow process. It's a slow process.
It's a very helpful. I have not ever gotten to that point of currently. I will not say that I did not. I will not lie to people and say that college was a different time, different place. Things may or may not have happened at that time and place. We're not going to talk about that time and place. But I think it's, I know that I've had quite a few people who have been very happy with the results that they've been able to get from that. So yeah, I think it's awesome that you're able to share that, and it's fantastic that it's actually been a benefit, and that you've been able to say, this is what I'm doing, this is the route I'm taking, and it's actually giving me some type of relief.
It's a challenge. I think a lot of it too is like my day job is both a benefit and a curse. In that I spend most of my days providing intercultural competency coaching to people who are all over the state that are in very challenging work, most of whom are in extreme forms of polarization, minimization, etc. So especially since taking this role, I've really had to force myself to like make time for myself, because like there's days when I log off and it's like, I literally do not have the spoons to talk to anybody. And I have to uphold those barriers. It has made me really respect my barriers, especially since sometimes it's like Richard can vouch for this. Like I had a challenging day yesterday, and my boss, love her to pieces, presented a really challenging piece of self-work for me. And it was hard. And I'm still processing it, but like I'm smart enough to not put myself in certain situations when I'm in that processing. So boundaries are super important. And yeah, chat, Tony, fibro sucks. You're not wrong. Fibromyalgia is a beast and it sucks. And Molotov, I get migraines too. Rizatriptan here, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, last time I had a conversation with my neurologist, they were like, maybe we should start talking about something for migraines, because I did have one at the end of last week that kind of went off and on until Monday.
Yep.
And I can't take ibuprofen anymore.
Yep.
It literally makes my stomach just hurt, because unfortunately, and as a younger individual, I took it like candy, which is, I will generally say, is the fault of, I have a cousin who was an All-American, and I vividly remember going to watch a playoff game before the national championship game he played in Division II, and he had a broken neck a few years before, which is insane. And after the game, I watched him take a handful of ibuprofen, crush it up, and put it in a soda and just chug it. And my father was just like, I never, never will you do that to yourself. And again, I can distinctly remember being in college and getting pulled from the last football game I played in college at halftime. I'd had 4 arthroscopies in 6 weeks, and my parents were there for homecoming, and I threw things against the wall, threw a fucking fit like I was a 5-year-old because I got pulled out of a game that my parents came to because they did not come to games. And it was like later on having a conversation with him, he was like, self-fulfilling prophecy, you weren't going to be that. And then what did you turn out to do? You were that, and I think that's hard. And now I pay for it every single fucking day. So I hear you. If I don't talk about being in pain, like you said, it's because I'm in pain and I just don't feel like talking about it anymore.
It's like the chronic pain scale. Like I hate pain scales. Like, like rate your discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10, and I'm like, I am
Always
at a minimum of 5.
Yeah, my answer is. You want to know my answer? It's fucking always.
Yeah. I love my GP because she's like, what's your baseline all the time? I'm like, probably like a 5, sometimes a 6, depending. And she's like, that's not normal. And I'm like, well, some level. She's like, no, Shannon, like none of this is normal. A1 is not normal.
Please define normal for me.
Yeah, like what is this normal you speak of? I don't understand.
Yeah,
But,
it's
yeah.
I think that's a spot we all kind of unfortunately suffer through, is that it's a commonality. But I think it's constantly trying to find a better way to deal with it. And so that's why, I mean, even you talking about that makes me go, man, maybe it would be a good idea to look into that if it's going to assist with pain and discomfort and allowing me to actually wake up and then I can't talk. Wake up in the morning and not feel like I get hit by a fucking truck. Because I wake up in as much pain as I went to bed. Like I'll wake up and my arms won't work anymore. I'm just like, oh God, I can't move my arms above my head. So yeah, I would like that to not be the standard functional level. But so it's always good when people are like, yeah, I've been trying this out and it works really well. Or I've been trying this out and it actually is giving me some semblance of relief for now. So I really admire when people, I admire everybody that I'm speaking with, just to let everyone know. But I find it to be very reassuring when people can take that leap and try some different things, because I'm real bad at that. I'm terrified of it being worse, I guess.
Yeah. On that kind of note, like myself, I've been kind of circling around trying out ketamine for my depression. But I'm kind of, my mom does it and it's worked wonders. I got to say, for her, it really has. I've got some friends who do it and some friends with spouses who have done it. It's just, yeah, I for some reason, I'm feeling just a little bit of hesitancy towards it, but I've seen it do some good stuff. So there is that. I am kind of looking very deeply towards it. But yeah, I've heard great things.
It's one of those things I'll tell you, as someone who works in the field I work in, that when it works, it really works. When it doesn't, not so much.
I mean, better living through science is not a shame.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where Richard and I have had multiple conversations about this. That's where I struggle, because having worked as a dancer for 18 years, specifically in belly dance. Okay, y'all, don't come for me. I quit because I recognize cultural appropriation. You bitch done fucked up. I own it. All right, it's fine. I own that shit. It's cool. There's a reason I moved on. Also, if you want receipts on the people who are actually Middle Eastern that I studied with, I'm happy to give you names. But as a whole other topic. But coming from that, like, everybody is very crunchy. Like, very crunchy. And if you don't know what I mean by crunchy, y'all, granola, K for we don't do meds. That's crunchy. Okay. And I'm being very generalistic and stereotypical, which to my credit is not a great thing to do. But I have literally had instructors who own yoga studios that I was teaching dance classes out of. Now, understand, I was a dance instructor who specifically focused on on building a community of marginalized dancers in all body types, in all walks of life, who many of whom were disabled. I have had students that have had fibromyalgia,
awesome.
spina
That's
bifida.
great.
I had one who was an amputee. And I've worked with burlesque dancers in wheelchairs, like the whole 9 yards, right? This woman who owned this studio, who I don't know if it's still open, I freaking hope not, because this place is toxic, in Uptown Minneapolis, literally looked at me and told me I should come to some of their seminars, because if I change and take myself off of all of my medications that I need and I eat nothing but high vibration foods, I will cure my Hashimoto's disease.
I hate that word, high vibration.
I hate it too. And
I've never heard anybody say that. And
Oh my God.
I have, and it's,
I would lose my fucking mind.
I don't know if you replay this, you'll see my eyes immediately like, oh God.
That's a term I want to take to Sydney McElroy and hear her response to it.
Shout out to Sawbones. Like, but it's true. Like I think that there's Spike, my man, my friend, my joyous.
That's what I said, Spike. I was like, I don't even fucking know what these words are together.
So there is a concept in what they call, I probably shouldn't lump it in with this, but a lot of people equate it to like somatic practice. So somatic is the concept of everything being interconnected. The concept of somatic principle is actually very sound. I do treat wellness like a somatic piece, but I am one of the weirdos in somatic practice that believes that both science and words are eluding me because fibrofog is a real thing and I've had to be super eloquent all day.
Well, science in naturalistic practice.
Homeopathy is what I was trying to think of. Thank you.
It's not a one or the other. It's, you can do both.
Yeah, and I do pretty frequently. Like Richard will tell you, it's a thing. Like that's how I function. But like there are certain things like, do I need synthetic hormone to treat my thyroid because I have literally tried everything else? Yes. And I've been miserable for 15 years until they got me on the freaking levoxythyrene. And now I'm better and I'm not fatigued all day long. And I'm not like passing out at my desk at 3 p.m. But like in the somatic principle, like everything is connected. They believe that like what you put into your body is the kind of energy that your body will put out. So they consider high vibration foods, which by the way is language that is used by cults.
Yeah, that's something I
watches every cult documentary on Netflix. I watched the Mother God one, and somebody literally said shit about high vibration food, and I was like, shit.
The only thing better than a murder show is a cult show, or a murder show
the same thing.
Or a murder show about child murder or child.
Yeah, that's true. I love Shaggy.
Child murder cults.
You can't go wrong. Child murder cults.
You can't go wrong with them.
No, then you're stepping into the real world.
Now you're with the big boys.
Now you're playing with big boys.
I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what this turned into.
It turned into stuff I watch, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I'm a junkie for just real life murder and mayhem that's shocking and horrifying, but I can't look away. I don't know why.
Yeah, there's a podcast you should listen to called Let's Go to Court, and it's amazing.
Oh,
it's a good one. I like Murder in America too.
Murder in America is very good.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too.
I think I got into Let's Go to Court because they're in Kansas City.
Valid. Yeah, so yeah, their concept is like if you eat foods that are very natural and all organic and only blah blah blah. Oh, Tony, no. Oh no. You know what? Can I just
Is Tarm jumping in on this?
That's my wife, everybody.
Tarm, I got your gym equipment.
Yeah, I have to pick that up. She told me.
She was like, "Hey, did you get this stuff?" I was like, "I did," and she was like, "Oh, that's not good."
Oh man, yeah. High vibration food. I can't with that shit. I go to the doctor and I'm like, I'm one of those people that's like, yeah, should put honey on everyone because that's gonna solve the problem. I
Do
legitimately
love honey, but
I go to the doctor and they're like, you technically should have your like updated hepatitis vaccine. Like you don't necessarily, and I'm like, they turn around and I'm like this with like my sleeve pulled down. They're like, are you sure? And I'm like, do you know how much spam I have consumed in my life? I don't know what's in that shit. Just put it in me. It's fine. It's fine. I don't care. I've consumed so much Velveeta. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
cool. It's cool. Just say what's
Hell
in
yeah.
that, put it in me. It's fine.
I
don't care.
love these things. They're terrible for me, but I love them.
They're so good.
To this day, you can still find me from time to time spraying Cheese Whiz directly into my mouth.
Oh yeah.
I love it, and I won't stop.
No, can't stop, won't stop.
Won't stop. Same with whipped cream, right in there, and then I just mash it around.
Ready whip, baby.
Yeah.
A little bit of whipped cream goes in my coffee every morning, and I always make sure to clean it by taking a big old pull off the thing. Now I just turned into Wild Bill for a second. I can't even say words. Big old pull off the
Big old pull,
bro. That's a little Mountain Monsters rampage there for.
Oh my god,
bro. So I mean, so just thinking about our all of our like our week coming up. Like, does anyone have anything where they're like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do this week. This is the bullshit I'm gonna get through this week.
My 1 year at my current job is on Friday.
Holy shit, nice job, man. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Way to go.
I've been with my current company for 1 year as of Friday, which is nice because, so there's a stress reward option coming up here. I've never been good about reviews when it comes to my place of employment. I get anxious, and I mean not just anxious, but I'm holding this bottle, shaking it sometimes.
I realize I don't get anxious, I get angry.
Oh, so see, I get anxious because what I feel like I've been doing good, it could be, there could be something that I'm not seeing because I choose not to see it. So
yeah.
I'll catastrophize it in my head, but this could also be my bonus gets told to me as well at my 1 year review. And if I'm getting a bonus, it could be anywhere from $100 to $5,000.
Holy
there you
buckets, my man. That's awesome.
It's a nice thing when you work for a company that touches just about every single person.
With consent.
Yes.
With consent.
Well, I mean, I'm sure some people would rather it not be consensual, but
Hey, what are you gonna do? Some people are into weird stuff. So just getting through this week is like you're stepping up. You're gonna go through that moment. What can we do to support you, man? What can we do to make this something where you feel supported from your friends? You feel like we got your back. You feel like if something comes up, you can be like, hey guys, stuff sucks right now. Anybody got a minute for me to tell you the suckitude?
Honestly,
Shaggy.
Just being an ear to listen is the biggest support that I can, because I don't have a lot of people that I can talk to support me. I mean, I have, Shannon, which is very important to me, but I also don't want to overload on Shannon being, the one person I talk to on a regular basis. So,
that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, the one thing I learned in polyamory was like it's better to not be everything for everyone.
That is a truth.
Not the easiest lesson to learn.
No, it is not. But
it's very true, and it does make a vast difference in people's lives when you realize like, oh, I just you know, I can be this for this person, but I can also be this for another person. And, you know, the pressure is, you know, in some ways is off. Then it's just, I can just be. I can be helpful in the way you need me to be helpful. So what I would say, you know, is we're here for you. You know,
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
and you're gonna fucking kill this thing, and it's gonna be amazing.
Yes.
And you're gonna walk out there, and you're gonna get what you want out of this, because you deserve it.
Hell yeah.
I'd give you that raise.
Yeah.
I have no control over this whatsoever, but I would give you that raise.
Who wants to go next? Who else has something this week that they're staring in the face and are kind of like, well, this is gonna be a little rough.
I need to get back on the Peloton badly. I'm very limited in the kinds of workout I can do. The two that are the most accessible for me are the Peloton, which we're very fortunate to have one, and I love it. It's just a matter of I got to get my butt moving and to get back to the pool. And
Ooh.
Oh, the pool is the best.
seriously, it's awesome. And I really enjoy it. And now that I've kind of got my gym membership back sorted out, I can actually go again and get that dealt with. So I think what I'm going to do is set a goal for myself that I am not allowed to watch the finale of Has Been Hotel.
Ooh.
Wow, you're throwing the gauntlet down.
I am, because I know I know how to motivate myself. And if I'm not motivated,
You're like, I know what I want, and what I want is to watch the show.
I may honestly just say I'm not allowed to watch the last episode unless I watch it on the bike.
That's
There's nothing wrong with
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I need to at least once before then get myself back on the bike and start moving in ways that are safe for me. I've been compiling research for a little while and trying to find different ways, and bless my GP, she thinks it's a really good move. So
Oh yeah.
but I definitely need a little bit of support. And Richard, I'm dead serious. Do not let me watch the Has Been finale until I get on the bike, for even if it's just for 10 minutes.
Well, I will say this: if you want to do what Doug and I have been doing and working out at the same time, I'd be willing to do that. And that is, we get together and sometimes from a distance, and we watch Mountain Monsters together. I don't know what this show is. I probably will be like, this is not my bag, but I would definitely hang out while we're both working out on our whatever. I'll probably do the hand bike, but I would totally do that if that's going to help get you where you want to be.
I would love that. Richard, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I'll just threaten to watch it without you.
Oh, Richard,
I
I picked up that gauntlet and just backhanded with it.
bring in the heat.
I'm going to need extra therapy for the next round of this show because apparently we're going to be getting a divorce. No, I'm kidding. No, he knows how low-key obsessed I am with Has Been. It's been a while.
The look of pure shock on your face when he said that said it all. It was real. It was palpable.
I love it so much.
And I'll do it too.
Oh, he will. 100%. There's no, there is.
I don't make threats. I make promises.
Yep. Yep.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Yes, Tony. Let's go.
Colin.
Me. You know what? I need to. Once I don't have any specific thing looking towards, but just in general, I guess in doing a lot of self-reflection over the past couple of days, I really need to be a lot better at expressing just all my everyday kind of frustrations and angers and sadnesses and things like that. The things that I tend to try to hold back, even with all the therapy and stuff I've done, I still have this tendency to hold things back. sometimes I have the misconception of like, well, I'm doing people a favor. I don't want to be in the way. I don't want to, no one wants to be bothered with what's going on here. And that's something I need to really get over and be better and be more vocal about. Because I find when I get to those points, I can then either it'll tip two ways where I'll get a lot of frustration and resentment of like, why is no one helping me? Why does not anyone see that I'm like drowning in all this negativity and all this ickiness? Or else it'll lean into all that negativity and ickiness, and I'll just kind of tip over into full on like depression. So that's something I need to be a lot better about. And this is definitely a step in the right direction right here. So really, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you for getting this going again, man. This is great. But yeah, that's something I definitely need to do, and definitely
a small thing. Then how can this week, by this time next week, how can we look back at it and just say, hey, with what can we do to help you at the next week, like making a small goal and then being able to make it an attainable thing. God damn, do I love unattainable goals. I do, and it's fucking horrible. So I don't want. That's my goal. My goal here is for us to find attainable goals where we'll be satisfied with ourselves at the end and be able to say, hey, look, we did this thing. We all chipped in and we feel good about where we're at and when we're all helpful to one another. So what's a small attainable goal?
Oh geez, like I can't even.
What's something you've been thinking about doing, or that's something that you can put yourself out there and do with your friends being there and having your back?
I don't know, dude.
It's cool to
being bashful.
No, it's okay to be bashful. It's okay not to have an answer too.
Well, I don't know. You know what? One thing I really need to do is just be a little more social. So I guess not to put it on this on other people, but hey, if you guys are doing anything, and you're like, he's kind of fun, throw me a line. I might come out of my little hermit crab shell and be like, yeah, that sounds fun. So yeah, and I know it's a two-way street. So I'm not trying to put the onus on anyone here to be the person to get me to be more social, but it's something I'm aware of. So yeah, I don't know. Now I'm just rambling because I do that.
You're not rambling. You're working through your process.
Join my Discord, play games with us.
Yeah. No, I see you guys popping on there all the time. I definitely need to do that. You guys are always doing cool stuff. Definitely.
That is maybe the largest truism. You guys are always doing cool stuff.
They are
pretty much factual.
You know what? You'll laugh. One of my coworkers sent me this last week on Friday because they went out and they were like, I've never seen bathrooms that reminded me more of you. So on one side it says he, they, on the other side it says she, they, and you can't really see the neon, but it says do cool shit in the middle. It says do epic shit in the middle in neon. And I'm like, which apparently is an Eat Street social market in Minneapolis, but yeah, he sent me that and he's like, I've never seen anything that made me think of you more. I was like, yay! So do epic shit.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
Spike's like, want to play Fortnite. Spike, I've been thinking about getting back into Fortnite as long as I can do it without the build.
Since they dropped that new Lego Fortnite,
I'm kind of all about trying that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Shaggy.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're all here for you, so we want to make sure that it's, you feel comfortable saying, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
Because I know where you're coming from. I think we all do. It's just finding the right time, right place, feeling like we can. That's the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good goal then. Social. You're gonna do one social thing this week. You're gonna try to do one social thing this week.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, I know we've got our normal social things that we sometimes do, like walking and stuff like that. But yeah, I need to do something else a little more, because sometimes I'll see everyone like, oh, we're going to game and all that stuff, and I'm just like, that looks fun. And then I like go back to my little corner of the world. So yeah, no, I'll definitely put myself out there this week
That's
for sure.
fantastic, man. All right, hell yeah.
All right, yeah,
Remember, even just trying is a success, man.
yeah,
The attempt
Yeah.
is a success.
that is. That is especially just all of a sudden it popped in my head thinking of in terms of like weight loss and fitness and things. Like trying and failing is starting your journey. You're gonna try, you're gonna fail, you're gonna try, you're gonna fail, and then eventually it's gonna happen, and it'll start clicking more and more incrementally, slowly, and then you'll see the results you want.
The
I don't know,
It's
sorry.
so true. The best advice that I was ever given by a dance instructor was by Rachel Bryce, who is a world-renowned dancer. She's phenomenal, and she was a huge fan of Bruce Lee,
Ooh.
whose entire concept, and she taught this in class, was fail hard, fail fast,
Yeah.
move through it. And like
Mhm.
that was it's so funny, we equate failure as a negative as human beings. Like we have this natural predisposition to like hate failure because it makes us feel bad. If you reframe and change your paradigm and look at failure as a necessary thing and a good thing, because it's like you're learning, like
Yes. Yes.
right? Yeah, like best thing to do. Fail hard, fail fast, move through it.
Yeah.
Love that.
You won't learn a lesson so well as one you've learned through failure.
Mhm.
It's weird and it'll sting, but if you can flip it around and learn to, yeah, for sure,
Yes.
move past it, yeah, hell yeah.
Fantastic. Good. I mean, just good words to live by.
Yeah.
I am going to try the rest of this week to not lose my job because I've been so irritable.
Aw.
So yeah, that's my goal, is to like not be a dick at work and get into a confrontation with the person who supervises me, who does not deserve my disdain. I just am freely offering it because I'm in a shitty mood.
It's like Oprah. You get my bad mood.
Yeah.
You get my bad mood.
Everybody gets to watch me be a fucking irritable dick.
Everybody look under your chairs.
Yes. I mean, it really is. And there's no excuse for it. I just get like this sometimes. And it's, I can be very, very, very unpleasant.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that like in like being like, yeah, you can be. I'm just like, no, we can all get that.
No, you can even say that. You are not hurting my feelings when you say that, my friend, because it's very true. So that's my goal, is to be available and be there for my friends. All of them, not just the folks that are watching this, not just the folks on the call, but other friends as well. You see us in the future. If you're gonna always remember, like I'm around. Like I try to be around. I try. I'm like Tupac in the Digital Underground, round and round. I'm always around. So reach out if you need something. We're here for you. This is all about having each other's back. It's all about being there for one another. It's all about just reminding each other that we're all in it together, and we'll get through it. So,
yeah.
Thank you guys for hanging out. I promise I'll read the chat as soon as I get done with this, because Big Mike's about to jump on in 6 minutes and I don't want to fuck up his flow.
Hell yeah.
So stick around, watch Mike bad at games. I would say Mike is probably pretty decent at game.
Is he doing Elden Ring tonight?
He might be. He talked about it in the beautiful Discord.
Yes.
He was like, I'm gonna do these things. And I'm like, you go, buddy. So thank you. We'll see you. Does anyone else think what's going on this week, by the way, real quick? That they're like, hey, I'm doing this thing this week. You should check it out.
I don't have anything personally, but I do want to acknowledge tomorrow is the start of Black History Month.
It is.
There are loads of free sources. If you are a person of culture, Happy Black History Month. I hope you find great ways to celebrate. If you are not a person of culture, please, like, if you're in any of our discords and you want resources on how to educate yourself, anything like that, please let me know. I've got loads of resources. Just remember, also support Black businesses, not just during Black History Month, please, all the time. But yeah, that's all I got. Just shout out to my friends and my cohorts that are people of culture, and I hope it's a great month.
We have Spoopy Boys tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Hard.
Big feets, Sasquatches, North American skunk apes, all cryptids that walk on two legs and are covered in hair and look like kind of monkeys will be talked about. I ran out of steam there. I'm so sorry.
You're good. And then Friday is Bad at Games. I don't know if you all are doing it or if I'm doing it, but we'll figure it out. All I know is that the people want, I keep hearing, is Lethal Company. That's all I hear about. Hey, when they play in that Lethal Company, I'm like, I don't know. I can't play it, so it's up to them. Again, thank you. Mike is messaging me right now and is like, hey, am I good to go? Mike, you're good to go. Thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your week. Reach out if you need anything because we're all in this together.
Yeah. Good chat.